Welcome back to my channel. Okay, let's just get right into it because yeah, I kind of want to do this just to kind of make sure that we're continuing with the book, but it might not be too long today, but let's see how much we can get done in a little bit amount of time. So my name is Tiana. I do all kinds of things on this channel. Following my micro-locs journey is one of my biggest things because I love all things hair and hair care. And with that being said, we are doing kind of a hair growth series and just trying out. I really want to try out some different things that are supposed to grow your hair or make your hair healthy, like scalp massages, different products, different ingredients, different hairstyles, you know, all the stuff that we're told is good for you and it's going to be healthy and good for your hair. So with that being said, today's chapter in our book is super perfect. For those of you who don't know, we are reading I keep messing up the name of this book because it used to be called Grow It Long, but it's something about grow long healthy hair using the O'Hara method, something like that. I don't know, but anywho, I will try to make sure I go back and leave the description in the box below. I will leave the link in the description box below, and I did add the link to my other videos. So they are a series of videos because we're reading a book and we're just reading a little bit, you know, a day at a time, or however often I'm able to get on here and read it with you so that I can learn and hopefully you can learn something along the way as well. Hey sis, hey Renee, how are you? How is your day? And thank you so much for joining. But yeah, so today's chapter is called Hair Ingredients. So let me just get right into it because I don't have a lot of time. But I did want to make sure I get some of the book read today. So the chapter, like I said, is literally called Hair Ingredients to Avoid. So I'm gonna get started. It says, a lot of the everyday hair care products designed for black hair are often very inferior, and the ingredients are not natural, which means they require common shampoos to strip off their buildup. And this is what we talked about last time is if you're talking about having too much protein in your hair or having product overload. Hi mom, how are you? Thank you for joining. If you're talking about having product overload and all that fun stuff, sometimes, and even bad shampoos, some of the products we put in can only be taken out with certain shampoos, and yet those certain shampoos are really stripping our hair of the bad products and of its natural luster. So it's kind of like an endless vicious cycle of putting in bad products and having to use shampoo to get the products out, and then having to go back to products to try to replace the things that you have taken out of your hair. So yes, not all synthetic hair ingredients will necessarily damage your hair. However, some are just not beneficial. They dry out the hair very quickly. They cause scalp irritation, leading to overgrowth of bacteria, dandruff, and flaky scalp. And they also make the hair feel hard and stiff. They temporarily give the hair the feeling of moisture after first using the products. However, because they are synthetic, they repel moisture, which means that the hair quickly becomes dehydrated. Girl, you already know. I am tired, but I really wanted to get this video out. So yeah, I'm just gonna read as much as I can. Give us about a good 10 minutes of some good reading and see what we can learn today. So overall, they do not assist with long, healthy hair, and too frequent use of these products will definitely stunt your hair growth. And this is important because I feel like a lot of us with natural hair, extra curly hair, tend to experience dryness, and in the loc community, those of us that are new to locs, we are very prone to having dry scalp. And some of that, again, is because of the products we're using, or the shampoo we're using, or all these clarifying shampoos, or it's just so much stuff that we do that's like a vicious cycle. But yeah, just, you know, I want to take a break and say thank you all for logging on. I appreciate it. Love your support. Don't forget to thumbs up. Do not forget to thumbs up if you're enjoying the video. Leave questions, comments, suggestions down below. And if you learn anything new, let me know that as well. All right, so we're getting started with these bad products, starting with number 1. Mineral oil. Y'all already know. So mineral oil is a very inferior oil, but it's found in most cheap hair care products for black hair care. It is a byproduct in the production of gasoline, and mineral oil creates a very strong waxy buildup on the strands that cause the hair to feel stiff, dry, and lifeless. So applying mineral oil to the hair prevents the hair from absorbing water, and mineral oil serves as a repellent from water. But the thing is, there is, again, these things make your hair feel a certain type of way. It makes you think that it is moisturized, but it's not. And all along, it could actually be repelling water and not even allowing you to pick up on the moisture after you put it in, or making your hair seem very like it's not porous at all. It won't soak up water when you shampoo it and that type of thing. Some of that is because some of the mineral oil that is either hidden or directly in some of these products. Petroleum jelly. Now, this ingredient seems to be a staple in every household and considered to be an aid in hair growth, but it's not. It's derived from the same synthetic process as mineral oil and petroleum oil. Its thick synthetic nature causes it to repel water, which means that after applying it to your hair, it blocks out your hair from not only breathing, but locks out moisture. And this is why so many people stop greasing their scalps, because, hey, Dad, you was first. You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know. This is why so many people stop greasing their scalps, because we understood that it was kind of clogging your pores. And again, I really love this book, but that's not to say that everything in this book is going to be true for you. But many things in this book are going to be true across the board. So some people stop using petroleum jelly. And for those of you who don't already know, I'm so sensitive to oils and things, and some things I just can't even put on my skin. And even I've been thinking lately, because usually I have to use like just Vaseline for my lips, because anything else literally breaks me out. And even though it feels good for a time, I can tell I have to keep reapplying it to kind of keep my lips moisturized, because it's giving a sense of being moisturized. Like, it keeps me from feeling dry in the moment, but I know it's not moisturizing my lips. It looks moisturized and it might feel it, but it's not allowing it to be naturally moisturized. So I can understand how it does the same thing for your scalp. It kind of makes it feel like it's doing something, but it's actually repelling water at the same time. The only way to get rid of petroleum jelly from the hair is to use a shampoo that can strip it off. It is also very bad for the scalp, as it blocks the pores and creates a breeding ground for bacteria in the scalp. This next one, I don't know how to say it, but I don't know. Polyethylene glycol. Okay, we're gonna call it PG. Okay, so PG is a byproduct in the making of petroleum. It is a silicone used in hair creams to soften the hair, and most silicones are dry into the hair and create a synthetic buildup on the hair strand. And although, unlike most silicones, which require an aggressive shampoo to wash off, PG is a water-soluble silicone. However, it is still, I think she's trying to say carcinogen. Some of these words are, I think it's carcinogen, but I could be wrong. This could be a word that I don't know. And increases your risk of cancer. Okay, so it's got to be carcinogen. Side effects of PG is headaches, dizziness, and vomiting. But how much you want to bet that if you go and look this up, it's going to be in some of your products. All right, it's backwards to y'all, I think. Or maybe it's straight. I don't know, but that's what you're looking for. Number 4, sodium hydroxide. Now, it is used in products designed to alter the pH level of the hair and commonly used in hair straighteners. It is also used in shampoos as well as conditioners. It is so strong that it can severely irritate the scalp, damaging the follicles, and especially when left on too long or used too frequently. And we're talking about some of that stuff being found in relaxers or perms or something that's permanently changing your hair. You might see that. Because of its caustic nature, it can strip the outer protective layer of the hair strand, weakening the hair over time. So sodium hydroxide is also known as an ingredient which can increase the risk of cancer, and yet it is the active ingredient in hair relaxers used by Black women every few weeks over a lifetime. And again, so many people are leaving the natural hair community, going back to relaxers, forgetting that, yeah, your hair might feel nice at the time, but let's not forget it still is a chemical going on your hair, going on your scalp, and some of the long-term effects of it are not good. And we're talking about this particular ingredient, being something that could cause cancer. All right, so let's go ahead and read just one more, and that is alcohol. Alcohol can be very drying to the hair, but it is a common ingredient used in hair styling gels, hair styling creams, which are created for dry hairstyles. Your favorite gel may help your curls to pop and reduce shrinkage. However, with frequent use, the hair becomes fried and brittle. So 5 common alcohols found in many hair care products are ethanol, SD alcohol, denatured alcohol, propyl alcohol, and the other one. I don't know if it's isopropyl alcohol. Let me show y'all so y'all could help yourselves. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Let me know if does the phone help you or not help you? But again, get the book, y'all, because the book helps so much. One good alcohol is cetyl alcohol, and it's a fatty alcohol found in coconut fat, and it is one of the alcohols found in products which soothes and heals dry, frizzy hair. So I think that's something to note too, is that some of this stuff, it's not that it's all bad, but it could be that type. Like, again, obviously all oil is not bad, but some oils are, so you have to kind of know which oils are good, which oils are bad. If it's synthetic, then many times it's probably not a good oil. But if it's coming from something natural or coming from something that is, grown or whatever the case may be, then many times then it could, I lost my thought while I was reading that comment. Many times it might not be good. All right, so my dad asked, hey, question for a man, does wearing a hat all the time make your hairline recede? I don't think so. I don't think wearing a hat makes your hairline recede, because hats are kind of placed on top of your head. The only thing that I could see, no, I don't think so. Because if you're talking about receding hairlines, you're talking about tension and pulling on it, and a hat does not pull on it. And I think even if your hat is tight, like let's say you're wearing a hat and it's too small, even if your hat is tight and it's covering your hairline, then it might cause something like a headache, but it's not necessarily putting tension where you're pulling at your hairline. It's just something that's sitting on it tight. So it could restrict blood flow, but as far as receding, I don't think so. I think you're pretty safe with hats. And that's why, like I was saying yesterday, us sisters that do have to cover our heads, one of our safest choices are the hats, because it allows our hair to breathe a little bit better, and it's not, most times your hair is out and it's not pulling on anything, but when you put it in a scarf or in a bun, then you're kind of pulling it to get it to go back there, and that is things that can cause a receding hairline. So no, you guys should be good. All of y'all that like to wear hats, you should be good. All right, y'all, that is all I have for you today. Hopefully I can come back tomorrow or as soon as I can and finish reading up the ingredients. We got to 5 of them, and we still have 1, 2, 3 left, and then she's going to give you just a little tip on how you can read the ingredients in your products to see if it is not, good for you, or if it is good for you. But yeah, we have 3 more ingredients to read about that may not be good, but the ones we talked about today was mineral oil, petroleum jelly or Vaseline, polyethylene glycol, and sodium hydroxide, and alcohol. And again, she did mention how alcohol, not all of them, because the one that comes from coconut fat is not too bad because it is more fatty, soothes the hair, and calms frizzy hair. But yeah, some of these ingredients can definitely cause flaking, dandruff. A lot of people, have to deal with dandruff, and some of that is coming from our products. So yeah, thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. Today is kind of short and sweet, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I hope that you're learning something. I know I definitely am learning things and being refreshed on things, and I hope that you are kind of feeling the same way, and that we can all use this information to have a healthy hair journey. But thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and all my watch time and all of that fun stuff, so I need all of your help. Okay, one more question, or well, not one more. If you have a question, go ahead and leave it. But it says, what about cutting your hair short and cutting against the grain? Okay. Cutting your hair short. cutting against the grain. Thank you, Renee. I'm glad you found it very helpful. I can't say that for sure I know the answer to that question as far as cutting it short or cutting against the grain. I can say maybe, only because there are some people, and the only reason I'm saying maybe is because I have known guys and people who go to the barbershop, of course, and get their hair shaped up. And if your barber is constantly pushing your hairline back, then that can cause it to start receding because of the fact that you're forcing it to do something that it maybe not would have naturally done. And so that may cause it to maybe destroy some follicles because you're always working on that section. So I think with any hair thing, any hairstyle, cutting, whatever, if you're constantly working on a section, doing the same thing to a section, you can cause damage to it. So if your hair is, let's say, I don't want to say cutting it too short, but let's say you cut it bald and you don't need to be bald, over time you might end up destroying some follicles because you're cutting so close to the skin. So you might destroy some, but again, I'm not an expert at that, and I can't say for sure. I just do know of cases and of people saying things like, you know, if the barber doesn't do your hairline, if he goes too far in, it can create problems. So I think it would be sort of along the same lines if you're cutting it short or cutting against the grain too often as well. And then of course, if you're cutting against the grain, it's going to come up a little bit more blunt, so your hair might feel rough when it grows out versus it feeling maybe a little smoother or a little softer if you cut towards the grain. Like if you cut it in its natural way, your hair will have a different effect than somebody who's cutting it backwards against the grain. And that's, you know, the same for all kind of natural hair situations. If you follow what your hair wants you to do and what your hair naturally does, you are safer that way, and you usually can have a healthier hair journey that way, versus if you go against what it would naturally do, sometimes you can see adverse and negative effects of it. So I hope that helps. But yeah, you all, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section now, or you can go ahead and put them down below. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I will come back and let you know the other 3 products that are just no good to be in your hair care products, and also how to read your hair care products carefully to make sure that these things are not in them. But thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. And until next time, adios.